So a question we often get asked is, why is the Centurion Canopy twice the price of other metal canopies on the market? Why is that, Tony?
Yeah, that's a great question, Josh. So just before we start, we're talking about the 4K price range canopy that looks like this?
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
So on the surface, these look like great value, but there are some common pitfalls you want to look out for. So what makes it really hard as a consumer with this canopy, which we call a copy of the RSI canopy, is that there's so many varying different levels of quality, because there's actually dozens of manufacturers who are making this exact design of canopy and then offering them to importers who will label them under their own brand. It does all come down to knowing what matters and then making sure that the product is built for what matters. So we're going to go through the 5 common pitfalls to look out for when buying a low cost, what seems great value canopy. Stay tuned. What we often see with lower cost canopies is that unsuitable material choices are made. So this could be mild steel, which often rusts early on, or if it's selected as stainless, often the stainless grade is wrong, so that also rusts. Or if it's aluminium, the grade of aluminium chosen is often lower than what is needed. So typically you would need something that it's at least a 5005 grade or a 5052, which is what we use. However, some imported products have a 1001 or a 3003 grade. Now the problem with these, and we've actually managed to do this ourselves, is you can get a screwdriver and make a hole as big as you like just straight into the side of the canopy. So you really want to avoid that. The other issue is that the surface preparation before powder coating can be inferior, or the actual powder coating itself we've seen are not suited to the UV levels that we have in Australia and New Zealand, and it becomes like a chalky, flaky finish within months of taking delivery. So what you really want to avoid is your canopy looking like that. So that's what you want to avoid, and the way to avoid that is to insist on 5052 or 5005 aluminium and a properly prepared, trusted local brand of powder coating, and you can't go wrong. So a problem we often see with metal canopies is that the access window becomes too narrow. So you have a large bulky frame either side of the door, then you have a door, and then you have a window inside. So the problem with this is that you can't get large items in and out as easily as you can with the Centurion canopy. We've engineered it so that the full side door opens up, giving you unparalleled access. You get full height and full width for a lot of large items. So large bins, things like that, can be easily placed in through the side window. Problems we often see with metal canopies is the design of the sealing system and the seals themselves. So water can get in and damage expensive gear, and the seals don't last in the UV and harsh environments, which we work really hard to make sure that doesn't happen. What you don't want to happen is what this poor chap here has had, where his seals are coming out and they're breaking down in the UV. Tell us about the Utemaster rain channel system.
So the Utemaster rain channel systems, we have them running across the top of the door and down the sides. This forces water down the side of the canopy and off the tub, so it doesn't drip into your tub and damage any of your tools.
Issues we see with metal canopies on the market that we at Utemaster guarantee to help you avoid. So firstly, no proper engineering or testing. Secondly, no proper load ratings. So always make sure you ask your manufacturer for the load rating and check whether that is a dispersed load or whether it's a point load. Utemaster load ratings, you can put them anywhere on the rack or the product. Corners cut on bracing. So we had a customer come to us recently who had a metal canopy and he couldn't open his windows when he had a load tied on top because there was corners cut on his bracing. What made the difference? Why was the Utemaster canopy able to take his load, Josh?
Yeah, that's good. So the Utemaster Centurion Canopy, it's got bracing. The bracing for the canopy is actually mounted down into the tub mounting points, and it comes right up into the roof of the canopy.
And finally, a lot of these canopies are a generic design which is sold to work with a number of vehicles. You know, you can put the same canopy on a Ford, a Toyota, a Mitsubishi, etc. But what happens is they actually end up working properly with none. One size fits all, and it actually means one size fits none. Hope that helps. So a common problem is the concept of the flat packed canopy. So although this sounds good in theory, in practice, you get sent a flat packed box full of bits right down to loose screws. So at Utemaster, our philosophy is to send our products out fully assembled or as close to fully assembled as we possibly can so that you can get the product on as easily as possible. Now the issue with this flat pack design, as you can see there, right down to the screw. But these here are a plethora of joints that need sealing by the consumer or by the installer instead of that being done in the factory. Now, we talked to someone who had one of these canopies recently, and he actually had to pull his canopy apart and reseal everything up. Now, if you cost that out, what's that cost you? The Centurion Canopy is built for what matters with strong bones, so you don't have to worry about these 5 common canopy pitfalls. You're actually getting a good deal. The Centurion Canopy is twice as good, but you be the judge.